Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs, and I'm here with another Scripture Sunday 2025. And we're still in June, and we're still focusing on scriptures with rest in them. It's week 24, and our scripture is Matthew 11, verse 28, which says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." The words of Jesus in Matthew 11, verse 28. And the journal prompts are the color lavender, the shape is oval, and the art supply is cloth. So I'm going to get started right away. I've got a few ideas in mind of what I'm planning to do. I am going to try to use all the prompts. You can use all of them, one or two or none, but we do focus on using the scripture. So my idea is I have this magazine journal that I'm working on and this image on this page that I need to use today. I'm not able to use it for what the idea I have today. So I'm going to gesso over that to cover it up. And then my plan is I drew this little sketch of a girl carrying a big bag of burdens. And she's coming to the cross. I saw this image on Pinterest, and I thought I would try to draw it myself and see if I could use this on the page to go with our verse today. So I'm going to probably color this or paint this, and then my plan is to use this piece of cloth, a lavender cloth, for her dress, and maybe for her bag of burdens I'm going to have a different piece of cloth, but that's the plan. So I'll be using oval here for this bag and lavender for her dress, and that should take care of the prompts. So I'm going to go get my gesso now and gesso this page and let it dry, and then I'll be back. Okay, well, page is pretty much dry now. Added a little lavender paint to the gesso just to give it a little color for the background. And while I was waiting for it to dry, I cut out my letters for this week's verse, which I'm calling Physical Rest. So I'm going to get started gluing these down to the top for my title, and then I'll start working on this image. I think the page is dry enough to glue them down. But what I was going to share this week was when I was looking at the verse, Matthew 11:28, I noticed very interesting version, the amplified version of the Bible, and I read their take on this Matthew 11:28 verse. And so I wanted to share that out of the amplified version. It says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden and overburdened, and I will cause you to rest. I will ease and relieve and refresh your souls." So the Amplified often just kind of enhances the meaning of the verse a little bit by giving it a little more thought. So I thought that was very interesting because I read the whole chapter of Matthew 11, and in there, one of the verses referred me to Luke 11:46, where Jesus was talking to the Pharisees and the lawyers, and that was what I call the woe chapter. Luke 11:46. There's a lot of woes that he says to the Pharisees. And one of them, he is talking about how they heap burdens on the people, and they don't even lift a finger to help. So I was going to read that verse out of Luke 11:46. It says, "But he said," that was Jesus, "Woe to you, the lawyers also, for you load men with oppressive burdens, hard to bear, and you do not personally, even gently, touch the burdens with one of your fingers." So Jesus is really calling out the lawyers and the Pharisees for burdening the people down. And he's saying to the people, "Come to me, and I will give you rest from your weariness and your burdens." So I thought that this week I would call this verse, Matthew 11:28, physical rest from carrying all the burdens that might come upon us, even in today's world. Jesus is our source of rest. So I'm going to finish gluing these down, and then I'm going to probably take my paint pen and trace around that sketch that I drew and see if I can get it ready to glue down to this page for the focal point. And what happened to my T? I had a letter T here, and I don't know what happened to it. Just kind of popped away. Oh, there it is. As my great-granddaughter says, it just popped away. Sometimes when she's playing and one of her animals just kind of falls down or moves quickly, she'll say, "It just popped away." She's so cute. She's 3 years old. Okay, well, there is the letters all glued down. And now I'm going to start working on this image. And I'm going to get my Posca pens, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I traced the sketch out with my Posca pen. And now what I'm planning to do is take some parchment paper to put over the top and trace it onto this different material. I'm going to trace the dress onto this lavender. And then I found this kind of duck type material. It's heavy. I thought maybe I could make the bag out of that. Looks like it's just filled with a bunch of different burdens and rocks. And I thought this might be nice for the cross. Just cut out a couple of these pieces. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to go get the parchment paper and start tracing. Okay, I got it all traced out for the bag, the dress, and the cross. Set this aside for now, and just going to do the cross first. And I've got this material. I'm going to use this, just a strip. I don't really have to trace it, but just want to see how long. Probably to about down here. So I'm just going to cut this strip and glue it on that cross. Not this cross, this one. And this is what I'll glue down to the page. That should be good. And then just a little cross strip. About to here. This is going to turn out nice. Wasn't planning to use this much fabric, but I thought, why not, instead of painting? Okay. Excuse me. So that will be my cross once I get it all glued down. And then the dress. I think what I'll do is just cut this out here and then pin it to the fabric. Hopefully that will work. Okay. See, this fabric's got some interfacing in it. Looks like whoever I got this scrap from was using it to make something and didn't finish it. So I don't think I'm going to use all these layers. Just save that scrap for something else. Okay. This will be her dress. I have to cut it down a little bit. I don't want to cover her arms. So I think what I'll do is probably have to cut it right here for her arms and then just color that in with lavender. hopefully that will look okay. Otherwise, I'll have to draw the arms over the top, which I don't want to do, but maybe I'll have to. Okay. And now one more thing. Do the bag. Okay. Which part of this do I want? This part? This part? I think this part right here. Okay. Yes, I think that's going to look great. Once I get this colored in and her hair and her skin. So I'm going to glue these pieces down now, and I'll be back to start coloring. Okay, I've got it all glued down, and so far so good. I've got this colored pencil is violet. Hopefully it'll be the same color as her dress. It kind of looks like it is. Oh, to move this camera up a little. And we'll see. Oop. This pencil is, I gotta move the camera up. Just too close for me to work. Looks almost the same color as her dress. So that's good. That should be good. And then I will think this is kind of a flesh color. Peach. That should be good for her skin. These Prismacolor colored pencils are really nice. They're very soft and smooth. I got these on Amazon. Oh, sorry for the glare. Amazon 36 Prismacolor. And they weren't that expensive. And I've had them for quite some time. I don't use them all that much, but when I do, I always appreciate it. How well they color and how soft and creamy they are. So, I'll leave a link to them in the description box if anyone wants to go to Amazon and check them out. Excuse me. think I will color her hair kind of a brown color. This brown here. Oh, I forgot to color her face. So better do that. She has a sad face when she gets to Jesus and kneels at his cross. Her burdens will be lifted and she will have peace and joy, right? Okay. So now I'm going to cut them out and glue them to the page. And I will be back. Okay, this is what it looks like so far. I'm going to glue these down. And then I think I'm going to write the verse right in here. Should fit. And then the scripture reference down here. And I think that will pretty much complete the page and the challenge. So I need to find something to write this verse on. And glue these down and I'll be back. Okay, I got the verse printed out and the reference, and I'm just going to use a little distress ink to go around the edges. I have some shaded lilac here that I'm just going to distress the edges, and then I will glue it down and we will be finished with week 24 of our Scripture Sunday 2025. I'm really happy with this one. I love working with fabric, so it was fun. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you were inspired to maybe do this challenge yourself. If you do it and you would like to share what you've created, I'll have the link in the description box for the Facebook page and for the Instagram. If you'd like to share with me, I'd love to see it. And I hope to see you again next week for week 25 already. The last scripture for June will be next week. So I hope to see you then. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate you liking. Have a great day and be blessed in physical rest through Jesus. Bye-bye.